All right, guys, this is another CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Wally, sitting here with Mike Molyneux and Marv Zahn. All right, so one issue with the Patriots this year, we know they've got one loss, but it wouldn't be New England without talking a little doomsday. Patriots issue has been the red zone. And it's something that I've noticed throughout the year, and we've talked about here and there, but I actually looked up the numbers today, and their red zone percentage, not good. Certainly not great. Not what you want. The Patriots rank 25th in touchdown percentage once they enter the red zone. So once they get into the red zone, they only score touchdowns 48.84% of the time. For you guys who don't know math well, that is less than half. That is, the Patriots score touchdowns less than half the time when they get into the red zone. So, guys, with knowing that, how concerning is that for you guys? How concerning are the the Patriots red zone struggles? I got baseball in the mind.
Got a couple more months, Nick. Come on.
Hey, it's almost February, kind of. How concerning are the Patriots red zone struggles? Mike, let's start with you.
Yeah, it's very concerning. Usually the better teams in the league, when they get in.
You know who the best is though? Sorry, you know who the number one? Once they get into the red zone, they score the most. The Titans. Random.
Well, I mean,
that just says they don't get there often, huh?
Yeah, I did. I called them garbage. I called them hot garbage last week.
You did. But yeah, usually for the most part, some of the better teams in the league, once they get into the red zone, you have the fear that they're most likely going to find a way to get 6-7 points on the board. And right now the Patriots are definitely struggling with it. You put the stats out there, it's just disappointing with the fact that, okay, yes, you knew there's no more Gronkowski in the picture, so you eliminate that element of having that threat in the red zone.
He's got a press conference on Tuesday.
Don't get me started.
Big announcement on Tuesday.
Please, Nick, please. But then another guy who has seemed to just disappear, taking a huge step back, sophomore slump, whatever you want to call it, Sony Michel, who when he had opportunities last year in the red zone, you knew, okay, give Sony Michel the ball, and he's punching the ball in. Easy, easy draw up right there to give Sony Michel the ball and have him punch it in. It's not the case this year with him doing that. We've seen situations where the Patriots get into the red zone and they turn to Brandon Bolden in the red zone to run it. They've turned to Brandon Bolden over Sony Michel in the red zone a few times this season. That's where you know right there there's a problem. So, that's what's very disappointing to me when I look at the red zone in a sense. You would hope it'd get better. There's a lot of talk of, now you have N'Keal Harry back, and he's such a great, jump ball athlete that maybe you get into the red zone and Tom Brady puts it up there for N'Keal Harry to go get it. And that's another threat in the red zone. We haven't seen that happen yet, and N'Keal Harry just getting back. So hopefully, that opportunity arises where Tom Brady and Harry can click down there. But you definitely want to see the run game get going, throughout the whole game in general. But in the red zone, if Brady can just hand it off to Michel, who's the top guy, to punch it in, that would be huge. Something they need to figure out. There's still a lot of time left in the season, for them in the red zone and the offense in general to figure some things out. But it's definitely concerning when the Patriots get down there and there's a possibility that they can't score a touchdown. Add in the fact that their kicking game has been a little bit questionable throughout the season. Luckily,
kicker number three,
Falk is, has looked a little bit reliable, these last couple of weeks. But, before, and not having a reliable kicker, not being, efficient in the red zone, bad combination. But again, time is still on their side in terms of figuring things out.
You mentioned the run game too. I think one of the most notable things of this entire season is just how underwhelming, I call it for what it is, how bad, how piss poor this run game has been this year.
Trash, yeah.
All right, guys, the football and basketball seasons are in full swing. Things that are not trash, betonline.ag. Get into the game with our exclusive sports betting partners, betonline.ag. Sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus, just like I did, on your first deposit to start betting college or professional ball. Every spread, every total, every single winner or loser, straight bet, parlay, or tease your way through the entire season. You can even bet on wild prop bets. Who's going to be the next head coach to get canned? Who's going to win the NBA MVP? Definitely not Kyrie Irving, let me tell you that. Get the fastest to market odds, updates, and payouts with our new sportsbook partners, betonline.ag. Head over to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use promo code CLNS50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus. Betonline.ag, your online sports book experts. All right, Marv, again, Patriots 25th in touchdown percentage once entering the red zone with 48.84%. How concerning are the Patriots' red zone struggles for you this year?
Extremely concerning. Mike nailed it with the running game. I know when you think about red zone, sometimes you don't think about how essential the running game is, but it's huge. And I don't think the Patriots know what to do when they get close to 5-10 yards from the end zone, what to do with the running game. Mike mentioned you have Brandon Bolden, and sometimes you add in a James White, who I've seen in the red zone a lot more than Sony Michel now. Add in a Rex Burkhead. They don't have set plays that they can go to and say, okay, once we are in the end zone, we can run this. A la when we had like a LeGarrette Blount, where you knew close to the goal
Cordell
line.
Patterson. Cordell
Even
Patterson was great in
Cordarrelle,
the red zone.
he was going to put, because the tackles have not been great, so you can't really pitch it outside. You don't have the greatest tight ends right now. Ben Watson, he's doing what he can, but he's a lot older, a lot slower. Lacoste, you saw what happened with him when he got a little bit of opportunity, almost fumbled that ball away, and luckily he was called he was called down already. So it's just not a lot of reliable options. I think Brady needs to trust his receivers a lot more. Put it
There's
out there and
no trust in those receivers.
see what they can do. You have Muhammad Sanu, you have N'Keal Harry that Mike mentioned. Put it out there and see if they can go out there and make a play. Brady's so worried about throwing the ball only where the receiver could get it, and he's been making some very bad throws with it. We saw that he can get fooled too. Now lately he's been getting fooled in the red zone with some of the defenses not seeing where the safety is. There was one time where the Ravens were supposed to intercept one of Brady's throws in the end zone, and it looked just like what Buffalo did a couple weeks earlier. So it's just, they don't have set plays. I don't think they're confident they know what they're doing in the red zone. When you have to, I love the trick play. I love the double pass element to Dorsett. That's awesome. But when you see that in the red zone, that's when you know things are looking real scary for the Patriots, when they have to do a double pass in the red zone. That's something that you just don't see. You usually see that, a lot farther in the open field, like maybe 50 or 60 yards out. But when you have to see that in the red zone, some trickery, then you know that, man, this team is really struggling and having some set plays that they can just go to.
Yeah, the offense has been so bad, especially in the red zone, that they have to resort to trick plays now. I mean, Julian Edelman's touchdown throw was the only touchdown that the Patriots scored yesterday.
And that's not to say I like trick plays. I'm all for trick plays I'm all for it. But it seems like it's a necessity now to get some points going. And that's the problem.
In the margin of error, once you get into the red zone, this goes without saying, just it shrinks so much because there's no space on the field. And when you don't have trust in any of your receiving targets, I mean, how can you score? How are you going to get that in the end zone? And again, I think it all comes back to the run game. I think the lack of a run game just makes this offense just so easy to protect. I mean, Rex Ryan's semi-trolling, but he said that he wished he could face this Patriots offense this year. And I kind of agree with him because you don't have to guess much. Sony Michel, and I don't know if we should really be shocked about how Sony Michel has regressed, because we've all been in agreement before. A lot of his successes came off of the success of the offensive line. Last year, when he was doing great at the end of the year in the postseason, the offensive line was playing out of this world. Plus, on top of that, he had James Devlin blocking for him. They've got Landon Roberts blocking for him this year. And they had Rob Gronkowski, which Rob Gronkowski was a great run blocker. They don't have that this year. So now Sony Michel's going to have to rely on that skill. And so far, it's not looking like he has the skill to make up for the lack of the offensive line, the lack of those solid blocking tight ends. So not having a run game just makes your red zone so difficult, because you're going to have to pass the ball every time. Cordell Patterson, line him up, just let him run people over on the 1 yard line. I wish he was back here again. But yeah, it's concerning as hell, because once you get into the postseason, when you start playing teams like the Chiefs, like the Ravens, those teams who are going to put up a lot of points, you can't be settling for field goal after field goal after field goal. You have to score touchdowns. If the Patriots can't score touchdowns, they're going to have a tough time in the postseason, especially if they have to play the Ravens in the AFC Championship. Because I don't think the Ravens are going to be going for field goals, even though they could, because they've probably got the most reliable kicker in the league in Justin Tucker right now. But they're not going to be settling for field goals. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to be scoring touchdowns. You need to fix this red zone issue, or you are not going to. If you do not fix this red zone issue this year, I don't think you're going to the Super Bowl. I don't, because this is 25th in the league. That is putrid. That is bad. All right, guys. Thank you for watching another CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. Nick Qualley and Mike Molyneux. Marv is on. Guys, don't forget to catch Mike and Marv after every single Patriots game. They've got the CLNS Media Patriots postgame show. It's great. It's phenomenal, guys. Go check that out. We're going to be back next week. Don't forget our Twitter things definitely already popped up at some point, so go back, get those, and follow us on Twitter as well. Nick Qualia, Marvazon, and Mike Molyneux. Guys, we're going to be back next week for another set of the CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching.